The experiment that proves you're not choosing your face, the crowd is. A young woman named Lena Park, 24 years old, sits in the hallway of a psychology building at Swarthmore College. It's the 1950s. Her hair is curled at the ends, pinned neatly. She wears a soft cardigan buttoned too tightly because she's nervous, and nervous people button things too tightly. This is her first ever paid experiment. A whole $2, enough for coffee, a sandwich, and maybe a new lipstick if she stretches it. A research assistant finally calls her name. Lena steps into a narrow beige room lit by unflattering fluorescent lights. 7 chairs are arranged in a straight line. 6 of them are already occupied by serious-looking men in gray suits. They look like they've never smiled in their lives. She takes the last empty seat. In her head, she thinks, why does everyone in here look like they're auditioning to be an accountant? A researcher holds up 2 giant cards. Card 1, a single vertical line. Card 2, 3 lines labeled A, B, C, all different lengths. The researcher asks, which line matches the reference line? Lena glances. The answer is painfully clear. B. It's obviously B. The man beside her, tall, square-jawed, confidently says, C. Lena's eyes widen. The next man says, C. Then the next, and the next. All the way down the row until every single person before her has chosen the wrong answer. Her heartbeat speeds up. She looks at the cards again. B is correct. It's not even ambiguous, but 6 people, 6 adults have said C without hesitation. She feels a heat rise in her chest, a pressure, that uncomfortable familiar sensation of being the odd one out. When it's her turn, she hears her own voice betray her, C. And in that moment, she abandons what her eyes tell her is true for the comfort of agreeing with everyone else. This was not an accident. This was the Asch conformity experiment, one of the most unsettling demonstrations of human psychology ever conducted. What actually happened? Lena wasn't wrong. She was human. In this experiment, 6 of the participants were actors. Only 1 was real. People just like her. The results? 75% of participants gave at least 1 wrong answer, even though the task was objectively easy. Why? Because humans are wired for social survival. Saying the wrong answer with the group feels safer than saying the right answer alone. This is called normative social influence, the deep ancient instinct to be accepted at all costs. By the way, a new, very serious, very prestigious study from Institute of Totally Real Science has found that listeners who like and subscribe to Chai Files experience 47% greater resistance to skincare misinformation, 63% decreased risk of buying a collagen gummy just because an influencer blinked twice while holding it. A miracle? Truly. Science at its finest. Here's where the story gets uncomfortable. We don't just conform in psychology labs, we conform in front of mirrors. 1. Beauty standards equals to modern line length tests. If enough people say, this is the ideal jawline, this is the ideal nose, this is the ideal skin tone, this is the ideal face shape. Your brain eventually agrees, not because it's true, but because it's repeated. This is how entire cultures fall into the same aesthetic template. The K-pop V-line, the ultra slim jaw, the straight narrow nose, the big round dolly eyes, the glass skin complexion. Suddenly, everyone starts to look like variations of the same character, not because that's the one objectively beautiful face, but because the group keeps pointing to it and saying, see. 2. Anti-aging myths work the same way. If 20 people in your circle insist plant-based automatically means healthier, chicken breast is better than beef, or carbs are essential, or collagen drinks reverse aging, then you start doubting your own instincts even when biology says otherwise. Your mitochondria don't care about trends. Your metabolic health isn't decided by majority vote. But your mind? Your mind is vulnerable to the group. 3. Wellness fads spread through conformity, not biology. Let's talk about ice baths. 5 years ago, it was for athletes. Today, every city has a plunge pool. Every influencer is shirtless in freezing water talking about discipline and brown fat. It's become a subtle flex. How cold did you go? How long could you last? Did you even plunge if you didn't record it? But here's the truth. Ice baths are good for some people and harmful for others. If you have high cortisol, thyroid sensitivity, menstrual irregularities, chronic stress, low body fat, poor sleep, or unstable metabolism, cold plunging may work against your biology. But because everyone is doing it, you feel like you have to join in. Because everyone raves about it, you feel pressured to rave too, exactly like Lena in that lab, pointing to line C. The same conformity drives the explosion of NAD drips, hyperbaric oxygen chambers or HBOT, stem cells, IV drips, ozone therapy, red light beds, biohacking pods. Some are promising, some are questionable. Some are marketing disguised as medicine, but the way they spread is identical. Not because everyone carefully read the data, but because everyone else was doing it. And in wellness, as in the Asch experiment, people copy belonging, not science. Key takeaways. Your biology doesn't change just because something is trending. What works for the crowd may not work for your body. Popularity is not evidence. Millions of likes cannot replace data. Beauty standards are manufactured, not discovered. The ideal right now is just what the group agreed on loudly. Be skeptical of anything everyone is raving about at the same time. Real medicine rarely goes viral overnight. Trust your eyes, your instincts, and your physiology, even if the crowd insists on pointing at the wrong answer. So here's the twist. When Lena was later asked why she chose an answer she knew was wrong, she didn't say, "I thought I was mistaken." She said something far more human. "I didn't want to stand out." That single sentence explains half of modern beauty culture and nearly all wellness fads. Most people don't chase truth, they chase membership. But here on Chai Files, we chase the truth, even when it's unpopular, even when it's inconvenient, and even when all 6 people before us confidently say, "See." If there's one thing you take from this episode, let it be this. Your health, your face, and your aging journey should be shaped by evidence, not by the comfort of agreeing with the crowd. Whether it's ice baths or NAD drips, collagen gummies, or K-pop noses, remember, you do not need to become a template. You're allowed to think independently. You're allowed to question the next trend. And you're allowed to say B when everyone else is shouting C. And if you ever feel alone in that, I'll be right here saying it with you. I'm Dr. Lo Chai Ling. Thank you for listening. Until the next episode, stay curious, stay independent, and most of all, stay beautifully, unapologetically you.